Hi, my name is Regina Price, and I'm the chair of the Mathematics and Engineering Department here at the College of the Albemarle.
And hi there, I'm Todd Kruger. I'm the chair of the Natural Sciences Department here at the College of the Albemarle.
And welcome to the virtual STEM night for October. And tonight is Fizzing Confections.
Awesome, finally, some science we can eat.
All right, so tonight you're actually going to make something that you can eat or drink. But you're gonna have to be ready because you're gonna have to do some tasting. So you might need your parent to help you measure out. So let's look into our bags and see what we have inside. Okay, so I've already opened my bag, so you should have your list of materials. And inside you're gonna find a small cup that you're gonna use to mix everything together. Then you're going to have 3 valves inside of your bag. So one is powdered sugar, and they are all like vacuum seal closed. The next one, you're gonna have citric acid, and this is food grade citric acid. And then the third one is going to be baking soda. Okay, so you should have those 3. Then you should have 4 small spoons. 3 are for measuring, and 1 is for tasting, because we say we're going to be eating something. So the 3 that you're going to be measuring with, 1 for each one of the things that we are going to be measuring. 1 for the baking soda, 1 for the powdered sugar, and then 1 for the citric acid. And then you have your small tasting spoon, right? Remember, you go to school, we get ice cream in the cup, look like a spoon you would eat with. That's what you're going to need this for, okay?
Not gonna lose that one. That's the most important part. All right.
All right, so we're going to be mixing everything together, and we're going to see what happens. But one of the first things that I told y'all we have is citric acid. So what do you think is going to be happening with that?
Yeah, I bet they've heard that word acid before. Can you guys think of some other acids that you might have, maybe in the refrigerator or around the house? I mean, if I hear the word citric, I think citrus, right?
Right, like an orange or a lemon.
Yeah. Those are important fruits in the fruit family, and those are what we call the citrus fruits. Mm-hmm. They all have sort of the similar flavor. What is that one type of flavor that you think of every time you think of lemons and limes and oranges?
Sour.
That's right. Acids are the chemicals that tend to taste sour to us. So I bet we're going to have some sour tasting science tonight.
We're going to see what happens.
All right.
So first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pop open your valve. So the first one is citric acid, okay? And when you try to open it, you're going to see like a sticky film on it because they have been vacuum sealed tight, okay? So you're going to take one of your measuring spoons and you are going to measure 4 scoops. You want 4 level scoops of the citric acid, and you're going to put it into your cup, okay? So we're going to measure 1. If you got to knock out some extra, try to make sure you get it inside. Don't waste anything. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now you want them to kind of be level because you can do this experiment more than once, okay? You can do it again, and the next time you can add something special to it, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, okay? So that was my first one. Then you want to get your baking soda. Mr. Kruger, you good?
All right. I think I've got 4 scoops of citric acid. And now what was the second one?
Baking soda.
Baking soda.
Okay. All right. So get a different measuring spoon, right? And again, you're going to do 4 scoops of the baking soda. And you want to kind of make sure they're level when you measure them off. And you're going to put them in that same cup. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and close that back up. And the last one, because we said that citric acid is going to be a little bit sour, we are going to add some sugar to it. So your powdered sugar, and this one tends to like clump up a little bit more. So you want to do 8 scoops of the powdered sugar. Okay. Mine is not acting right. So this one and mine is like a little bit chunky, so I've got to break it up a little bit before I start to measure mine out. Try to get them. I think it's the texture of the powdered sugar.
You want to be careful and not sneeze, or you're going to have powdered sugar everywhere.
Everybody will think you ate a funnel cake. So that's 2, 3, and I know it's the texture of it makes it stick together. 4, 5. And you really don't want to waste your sugar if you're going to do it more than once. 6, 7, and 8.
All right.
So now we have it all in there together. So everything is all mixed together. So now I want you to count to 10 for me, and I want you to stir as you count to 10, right? Because everything looks the exact same. Everything's white. And so we want it all mixed together, right? We want it mixed together real good. So I want you to count to 10 for me as you stir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now everything is nice and mixed together.
Somebody got a little sugar on my shirt.
So now it's time to get your tasting spoon, and we're going to taste what we just mixed together, okay?
All right.
And we want to see your reaction. What's happening inside of your mouth when you taste it, okay? All right, so I'm not going to get a whole lot. All right, so time to taste.
All right, let's see what happens.
It's popping.
Oh,
It's fizzing. Why? Mr. Kruger, why is it fizzing?
and it turns out, when we talked about acids earlier, those are the things that usually taste sour to us, like you find in lemon juice, sometimes apple juice, orange juice. Those are chemicals that are the exact opposite of this other kind of chemical that we call a base. Turns out acids and bases do exactly opposite things. One of them loves to grab onto new particles. One of them likes to get rid of new particles. So if you put them together, they are really happy together. They just throw particles back and forth very, very actively. So when I put an acid, like the citric acid, and a base together, and the base in this case is our little friend, the baking soda, they tend to make a very, very violent reaction go on. They start to make this fizzing. What you are actually making is a bunch of carbon dioxide gas bubbles that just start to bubble up on your tongue. But it takes a little bit of moisture to make that happen, to let the acid and the base start to mix. So in the cup, we mixed it together and nothing happened. But as soon as you get a little bit of moisture, once you touch it to your tongue, suddenly all those acids and bases start to mix together. The carbon dioxide bubbles start to form, and you get this bubbly, fizzy gas experience right there in your mouth.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you can also add a little water to it, right? And when you add that little bit of water to it, it starts to mimic what we know as soda, right? Then you can add some Kool-Aid flavoring or even some Jell-O to it. So one of the things that I thought about when we made this was a candy that I used to eat when I was little, known as Pop Rocks. Because when you would put them in your mouth, they would just start popping, and they would just pop and pop. And so we actually loved Pop Rocks.
I remember those. Those are good. That's the same kind of reaction too. Boy, what did this taste like when you tasted it?
So mine was a little bit sour, so I could definitely taste the citric acid. So, but not too bad that I couldn't eat more.
I gotta tell you, mine was all sour. I got no sugar in there at all.
Mr. Kruger didn't measure his sugar right. All right, so you can do this experiment more than once, depending on how much you measured out. That's why in the beginning I said kind of make sure your scoops were level. So then you can go back and perform the same experiment again. Next time, add a little Kool-Aid to it, give it a little color, add a little water to it, and then make you a drink. It could even be your new favorite drink to have sometimes.
There you go.
All
Just
right.
remember to put that water in the very, very end, because as soon as you put in some liquid, it's gonna start to fizz.
Right. Thank you so much for watching our Fizzing Confections. We hope to see you next month when we do our nanotech turkeys. Make sure that you sign up before November 1st.
All right, thanks guys. Enjoy your fizzing confections.
See you next time.